I recently purchased an investment property. Now, I'm doing stories throughout of what about the purchase, the process around it. I'll go into more detail now. I'm with Aryan as well from Big Money Property, who helped, well, actually not helped, who actually found the property for me, along with one of the buyer's agents here, Kian. Now, I'll go into detail about the finance behind it, how I obtained the finance, how we chose the property, and why we chose the property. First, I'll start with how I obtained the finance. Now, I've spoken about this many times. I practice what I preach. Now, I have a property, and that property has a debt on it as normal. I pay that down as normal. I took out a separate loan, which is a separate equity loan, and that money was ready to go in an offset account, not paying interest. The loan is interest only, so that was sitting there until I found the property, which I have since found. Now, that amount there, the deposit, was used towards the purchase here. That's when Aryan came into the picture. So I had specific goals. He'll be able to speak in a few minutes. I have specific goals for a property, requirements for a property. Now, I didn't want a property I just bought and sat there getting rental income. I want to add value, whether it's a second dwelling, second story, additional bedrooms, whatever it was. I want to add value to the property. I had a budget of $1 million for a purchase, which I thought was a lot, but once I started looking into it, it actually surprisingly wasn't really enough. My first thought was Queensland, and that's when the conversation started. Like I said, I wanted to buy in Queensland, and my ideas were I wanted to buy in Queensland, at a granny flat, second dwelling, whatever. And Aryan, what was the outcome of buying Queensland? When I say Queensland, more specifically Gold Coast.
Yeah, so Gold Coast, I wanted to go there, as everyone does, but $1 million doesn't get you much in Queensland or Gold Coast.
I thought it did. I thought with a budget of $1 million, I thought I'd be good in Gold Coast, but it actually wasn't.
Yeah, no, it doesn't get you much, especially if you want, subdivision potential, granny flat potential, like basically development potential. Yeah. It doesn't really get you much.
So we pivoted from Gold Coast to, we could go actually north of Gold Coast, but I didn't like those areas. And the statistics struggled to get that one out. Didn't stack up to what we wanted. The growth wasn't there for what I wanted, and I think there's something about the subdivision wasn't as easy and so on as well.
Yeah, it was a subdivision potential just was really harder.
Yeah. So we pivoted the location after that. Being an investment property, I was never going to live in the property. The numbers had to stack up, one from an investment point of view, but also from a future investment point of view as well. Let's have the conversation. So where could we buy based on what I was looking for? What suited the situation the best?
So what suited what Bora was after, which Goldie didn't work. So we looked at the data. We looked at also, outside of that, what suburbs allowed him to do the development that you wanted, basically. And Melbourne came up, which is a pretty hot topic right now anyway.
So Melbourne get mixed reviews, right? Some people are scared of Melbourne, some people love Melbourne. Yeah. Why is Melbourne the hot topic now?
Well, Melbourne itself is the second largest city in Australia. It's really underperformed the last few years. Unlike obviously Gold Coast and other areas that boomed and had their best growth since the last few years, Melbourne is now, or it has been since the last 12 months, been really performing well. And obviously from subdivision and development potential, it's just showing great promises.
So Melbourne is where we look towards, and we settled on a suburb called Frankston. Why Frankston? Where's Frankston? Frankston
is basically an hour from the CBD, but the reason we went to Frankston, one was obviously the data, everyone says data, that's really important, but secondly, it's the subdivision potential and the development potential that was there.
Wait, go a bit more detail on the data. What is the data?
So in terms of data, it's the historical growth. It has, it's not just post-COVID boom, it's done amazing. It technically actually hasn't done amazing, it's been average, but before that, from 2007 onwards, it has been a really strong market.
But past growth doesn't mean future growth.
No,
either.
But it gives you further confidence.
Okay.
Because you can see that the market has performed before, so it has a high chance of performing again.
Okay, and what else happening for the area to perform? Why is it going to have a value? Because I know it has, when I started looking at the property, to when I found the property, price actually went up.
Yeah.
Why?
So basically, it's sort of, demand's gone up, but supply has really gone down. So days on market is trending downwards, stock on market is trending downwards, tight vacancies. So
I didn't want brand new properties either. I didn't want off the plan. I wanted existing established properties. So that kind of narrowed down a few suburbs.
And we do not buy off the plan.
Yeah, we didn't want to buy off the plan, do off the plan. So then this one came about. Let's get to this one. These guys always mentioned off-market transactions. Now, I have never used a buyer's agent before. When I heard off-market, which everyone says, I thought, okay, mate, off-market. I thought, how hard can it be going on realestate.com and seeing houses there? But when the guys were here actually actively calling and seeing properties that weren't even on the market, I was actually just pleasantly surprised. So what's off-market?
Yeah, it's not a marketing term, Bora.
Are you sure? Everyone says that.
I'm quite confident. No, look, off-market basically means it's not on realestate.com, it's not on domain, it's not online.
So how do you access it? How do you find the property?
It's from, like you said, you heard us on the phone. It's calling the agents and speaking to them, and obviously having that network.
But why would someone go off market? If I'm selling a house, I don't think I'll go off market.
I'll do the same, man. But the reason some people sell off market is either one, they just have a number in mind and they're happy. If they hit that, then they're happy. Two is some people just want a private sell. They don't want 20, 30, 40 groups of people coming through. But it's not, when I say off market, it happens, but it's not common.
Yeah.
So it's not like every day we're getting off.
I actually thought it was just a marketing scheme, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I thought you're sure off market, no worries.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I'll get back to this property now. Then the property came. So they showed a few properties. I didn't like some. They were against some. And then we kept looking. And then this one came up. Let me try to zoom in a bit. So this one matched what I was looking for. It's a corner block. How big is the land
About
size?
646 square meters.
So 646 square meters. This is the aerial version of it. So the house is at the front. And the backyard here, there's a shed here. And there's a deck on the house here. So my plan on this is to make this deck a little bit smaller so the backyard's bigger. Cut it off here. I put a second dwelling back here, side access there, and put a little carport there or something. So this is perfect for what I wanted. And when I saw this property, what was the price that we were looking at in the first place?
$880,000.
So $880,000 was the price to look at. I had a budget of $1 million, so this was well under my budget, worked out well. After the property inspection, there was some slight imperfections. The price came negotiated how much?
So we negotiated $5,000. Yeah.
So against my blessing, by the way,
Yeah,
I said
had to
no.
force him. I had to force him.
I
to
said
ask for a
no.
discount.
I want this property. I don't want to lose this property. They're saying you're not going to lose it. I said I don't want to lose it. I'll pay the extra $5,000. But they were insistent. I had faith in them. They negotiated a $5,000 discount on the property, so it works out well as well. So this property, like I said, ticks my boxes. Second dwelling will go here. There's my house there. The garage driveway will go there. So this front house will have a garage also. Second one will have maybe a garage, maybe not. At least have a driveway. And the finance for that, like I said, the deposit was taken out from my initial loan, and the rest of it was purchased via a separate loan. When it comes to finding a property, for me, this is literally my example, it was actually worked out really well. I got the property that I wanted in an area that has a potential of what I want to achieve. The council requirements from the research that we've done are easier as well to build a second dwelling there. And it ticks the boxes that I'm after. My plan is to do this now, do it again. So my plan will be to build a house here, refinance, take the cash out, go again, go again, go again. That's how I use the equity in the properties to keep going. So the same exercise I did here, I'll do it here with this one, go again, probably another corner block hopefully, go again and keep growing from there. My situation was, I don't know if it's unique or not, but I had specific requirements. I told the guys my requirements. We looked at one area that I really wanted. I saw the data wasn't stacking up, the numbers weren't stacking up. We pivoted areas and they found something to their credit, like exactly what I wanted. On a corner, off market, sure it was. It was off market, there was no competition, and it worked out really good. If you need help with finance, happy to help. From a buyer's agency side, property sourcing side, Arian and the guys will help out with that as well. Thanks guys.
Thanks, guys.